Hi, welcome to the Coaching Game. I'm Laurie Lawson, and tonight my guest is Anna Gallotti. Welcome, Anna.
Welcome, thank you.
Thank you. Anna is a coach who works with executives, but she has a little twist. She doesn't only do it here, she does it in Europe. In Italy and France?
In France and all over Europe, actually.
All over Europe.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's a big twist. Okay. And so I'm thrilled to have her. And we were introduced by a mutual friend. And I'd like to always encourage coaches to do that. If you know someone who you think might be appropriate to meet someone else, let everybody get together, because great things happen. Anna ended up on the Coaching Game. I think she's sitting there going, how did I end up here? But it's okay. we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go along here. Let me just remind you that the Coaching Game is based on the fantastic points of view Coaching Game. And what we want to do is, this is designed by people who are in Israel, and their goal was to bring right and left brain thinking together. And it's one of the best tools I've ever seen. So what I usually do is have the guest choose a card. So Anna chose choice. And this is such a brilliantly colored, beautiful card. So we're going to find out what made her choose choice. That's so crazy, choose choice. Why'd you choose choice?
Actually, I choose choice because I've been working on choice for 2 years, almost. And I'm writing a book on it with a friend. So that's why I choose choice, because I choose to write a book. And so I thought it was important to choose this card.
Well, when you say you've been working on choice, what do you mean you've been working on it? Making choices, working on it, trying to figure it out?
Working on it, yes, it means two things. Actually, working on my own choices, because I think as a coach, we need to work on ourselves first and then on others.
And not only first, but always, continuously, yes.
First, I say first is every
exactly.
time.
As soon as you get up in the morning, start working.
Exactly. It's first in the morning, exactly.
Yes.
And then, starting from that point, I said, okay, let's do some reflection, some thinking about choice, because I notice also that in coaching, choice is something fundamental to structure life and to structure a personal and professional life. So many issues that come up in coaching sessions are related to choice, in a hidden way or in a non-hidden way, in a revealed way. But for example, I give you an example. A person is not happy at work. Okay, many people I know in all level of hierarchy, they are not happy at work, because they are stressed, because the boss is not nice, because the market blah blah blah. And so, many reasons we can have a long list. And then I said, okay, but why do you work? Why are you in this work, and why have you this boss? Why have you this position? And so that's how the choice question come up. And thinking about why they are in a position, why they are doing something, make them realize that actually they wanted it, even if they don't like it.
Yeah.
And so this comes into the question of responsibility. And when a person feels responsible of his own life, of his own choices, then he can change them.
That is so interesting, because that's a perfect example. And if you're a coach, surely you have received one client who is unhappy with their job, at least one. But it's like, even if your example's so good, because it's like, okay, if the person stays and complains, that's a choice. It's not like I'm a victim and I can't get out. You have chosen, you may not like the choice, but you've chosen to stay and complain, or just be, I guess, unhappy, or
Today I was with a lady, with a coachee, a client of me, and she was telling me about a meeting she had with a person, and a person told her, I'm hiring people for my business, and my client wanted to go into her business, wanted to change. But she didn't say anything, and she went home and she complained with her husband. oh my God, I didn't say anything. I wanted to go. Why I didn't say anything? So I told her, okay, instead of complaining, probably if you really want it, if it is a real choice, then go to see the person and tell her that you want to work with her. And she said, oh, that's true. Maybe. So I said, okay, if you want to complain, you choose to complain, but you can also act instead of complaining.
Right, or I guess the fact that you, I don't want to say made the wrong choice, but you made a choice that you're not happy with now, can, if nothing else, can be a learning experience. It's like, okay,
Exactly.
I was working with that this morning. I woke up and it was like something that happened, I swear, 7 years ago, and I'm going, you know, I wish I had done this differently, and I'm going, oh, I feel so bad about this, and it's too late to fix it, and then I went, well, okay, what can I do about it? Nothing. It's 7 years. I mean, I'm sure nobody cares but me at this point, but it's like, what can I do about it? And it was like, well, at least, what would you do differently? I love that question
Exactly.
as a coach, right? It's like, what would you do differently if you had a choice? If you could go back and do it over again. So what were they learning in this book? What inspired you to write a book about choice? What a big subject that is.
Yes, it's a picture. Actually, so the first thing was observing my clients. So and seeing that how the question of choice is so important for them. And the second is to realize that for me, choices were important to structure my life and to decide things. Actually, I'm an entrepreneur, as you are, I suppose. So sometimes I complain. I said, why I'm an entrepreneur. I have every day to look for clients and to pick up the phone and. So
why don't I just go get a job where I don't have to do all that? And entrepreneurship is fun and you're your own boss, but it's like you got to do everything.
Exactly. So one day I said to myself, okay, what do you really want? Do you want to be entrepreneur or not? Do you want to complain and be entrepreneur? How do you want to spend your own energies?
Yeah.
And so I decided to work on choice because I said, okay, how can I feel responsible of my life? How can I change my life as I want it? And so that's why I choose the choice option.
Choose the choice.
Choose the choice. And then in the book, actually, there is one first part, which is the definition of choice. And then one...
How do you define choice? I'd love to hear that.
I read...
Is it a whole paragraph? I mean, a whole chapter? Or just
Yes, a whole chapter, but actually it's 2 lines, so I can read them.
All right, good.
So the choice is the exploration of a desire, and then the implementation of an action or inaction while waiting for a payoff with more or less powerful impact in the long term.
Wow.
And what
the
I like
exploration of a desire.
Exactly.
Wow, I like
What
that.
I like is the first part is the exploration of the desire part.
Yeah.
Because for me, at work or in our personal life, what makes us alive is the desire. The desire is the power of life we have in ourselves.
Right.
The desire is when we want something, but is also when there is a movement inside us. And when we really want to be better and we really want it. So there is linked to a pleasure and is linked to the willingness and is linked also to the responsibility. Because everything is linked, but what I like is really the energy in behind all this.
I'm just trying to think. Okay, the exploration of a desire, but it's even if it's like a not so great choice. I mean, it's still right. It's.
That's why there is the rest.
Have an answer.
There is the rest of the sentence going on.
Okay, give us the rest again.
The implementation of an action or inaction, because you can choose to act or not to act, to be silent or to speak, while waiting for a payoff with more or less powerful impact in the long term. Let's talk about payoff, because the payoff is the reason why we make a choice. And sometimes we know our payoff, sometimes we don't know our payoff. And the whole thing and all thing we talk about in the book is the awareness of our payoff. So that the more we're aware of our payoff, why we make a choice, the more we're aware of ourselves, the more we know ourselves, and so we can make the good choices for us.
Wow, that's, you know,
So
it's cyclical, and it goes around and around and around. I have a tendency, I hate to think. I don't like to think about things, but I hear what you're saying. I do, and it's like, oh, if I screw it up, then I'll fix it, you know. But I'll do it, but I just do it. I don't like to think about it. But I see what you're saying. It's like you can make a better choice if you've thought about, well, okay, if I go down this road.
Yes.
Or if I go this road and then go down that road. So it's like, is it a long-term planning or?
Actually, we are talking about choices. There are different kind of choices. There are day-to-day choices and more structural choices. For example, getting married, having babies, or choosing a profession. These all are what we call fundamental choices.
Right.
And the whole thing is, how do you combine fundamental choices with day-to-day choices? This is the first thing. So because you go to work every day, yes, but did you choose the job you go to work for?
Yeah.
Did you really choose it?
Or did it choose you? Was it one that you got, right? It's like, okay, I see what you're saying.
We discovered also that, I say we, because I wrote a book with a friend and a colleague, is Marie-Von Lorenzen, so I
say her name again, we'll give her a shout
Marie-Von Lorenzen.
Okay.
We wrote the book together, and the idea is that all these fundamental choices are made quite unconsciously. Actually, sometimes we get married with a person, of course we think about it.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully, yes. But actually, we really don't know the payoff.
Yeah,
we know that we love the
that's
person.
So interesting, because sometimes we create a payoff that may not be real, you know, and that's, oh my goodness, this is very complicated stuff here. Yeah.
We marry somewhere because we love the person, hopefully, usually, and but we really don't know why we marry this person. Actually, this reason comes up after, when the big love stop, because at a moment, you know, there is a routine in a marriage, everything is good, but this happens, and then you discover why you married, the real reason you married this person. And so, all to say that in fundamental choices, sometimes you discover they pay off after, and then it's the moment to reflect, to think about your choices. Do you like it? Is it a good payoff for me? Yes, no. And then according to that, you do day-to-day choices. Okay, do I live with this person? Do I have a day-to-day life with this person? And that's how our life can be happy or unhappy, because if the two kind of choices are not compatible, they are not aligned, the fundamental and the day-to-day, then we are unhappy. We are unhappy to go every day to a job we don't like.
Absolutely. So, so you can either choose to change the job, or I'm wondering, or can you choose to change your attitude? I don't know. It's like, you know.
Okay, yes. Of course, you can choose also to change your attitude. You can choose to change something outside you, or something inside you. How do you look at a situation? We mention very often Viktor Frankl, who is
Victor Frankl,
who is a writer and a psychiatrist who has been lived in how do you say it in English? The camp, Nazi camp.
Yeah, Nazi camp.
Nazi camp for 3 years, and he survived.
Right.
All along his book is very interesting, because it comes out that he chose to survive.
Wow.
And he chose to survive because he gave a meaning to that, to what was happening to him. A meaning, not a meaning in the sense that is right what's happening to me, because of course not. But he said, I want to be able to tell this story, to analyze this story, so that other people can learn from that. First, and second, he said, I want to meet again my wife. So he had all this sense in him. And so that's why he survived. And also, there is another thing. He survived because he decided that the small good moment, he was savoring them.
Right.
He was going to savor, to feel them. So, all that to say that when there is a purpose, when there is an alignment, you can live in the worst situations, in the worst conditions, but you can be happy.
Wow.
See?
Okay. So you're saying, I think I have to fight this. Let's see. You're saying so that what Viktor Frankl did was, it wasn't that he skipped around the Nazi camp all day and singing a tune, but what he did was say this is going. Oh, that's a great philosophy. You said this is going to have meaning. Because I just finished reading something about, and the bottom line was, give your pain purpose. Make it, as we're all going to go through tragedies, we're all going to suffer losses, we're all going to fail, we're all going to humiliate ourselves. I mean, that's the human condition, but give it a purpose,
Exactly.
I think that's what he did. He became one of the most inspirational philosophers, and of all time. And so it's like, okay, this was horrible, and he's not wishing this on anybody, but give it a meaning, make it have a meaning.
So the way of developing our own awareness and our own capability of making choices is to learn from the experiences and to make a sense out of experiences, as he did. So you can have happy experiences or unhappy experiences, but all the difference is how do you, I would say, how do you use them?
Right.
Do you just use them like the water going through you and
you absorb nothing? It
you
just
absorb
rolls off your back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or do you really think on them, and do you try to how can I say it? Yes, to learn and to improve yourself and the knowledge of yourself, so the awareness, because this is the key of good choices and then happiness.
And it goes kind of back to what you said. It's like the more knowledge and experience you have, the better choice you can make.
Exactly. Yeah. It is I would say it's an all work. Happiness is not something, is not a moment. I mean, the real one. You can have very happy moment, of course, but then are you profoundly happy as a person or not? And this is a choice in itself. But this is something you can build. It's not just something that happens because you are rich or because you are beautiful or because blah, blah, blah.
Right.
It's something you really built inside you. And this is a choice of awareness, with what we call, and a choice of how can I say, yes, knowing, having the courage of better knowing ourselves so that we can decide and choose what is the best for us.
That's interesting. The courage of better knowing ourselves.
Yes.
What does that mean?
But actually, sometimes, I give you my example. I was a person who was scared of everything, of people, of superior, of I don't know, everything, vertigo. I was scared of everything. And one day I realized that. And I didn't like that. I didn't like to see that I was scared of everything.
Okay.
So I said, okay, do you want really to see it? And admit it.
Yeah.
And admit the consequences of it and then change it? Or you just want to say, oh, poor me, I'm scared of everything. You see, but sometimes it's not. There are parts of ourselves we don't like. So that's why I say the choice is so important for me, because I discovered that when I admitted that I was scared of everything, then I could watch it, then I could do something and change my life.
Or not. I mean, you could say, oh my God, I'm scared of everything, and I'm afraid, I'm even scared of changing, And that is still a choice. It may not be the most beneficial to you, but so you challenged yourself and you scared the heck out of yourself, right?
But it is a choice which is aware. I mean, you can choose to be scared, not to be scared, but is aware. And it changes everything, because it means that you really choose it. It's not something that happened to you.
So when I'm listening to you, I'm wondering, is there ever a time when we don't have a choice?
Actually, there are there are things and there are times where we don't have the choice. Of course, so we studied, I would say we studied different situations where we don't have the choice. So we have a diminished choice.
Okay.
So there is a distinction.
Victor Frankl, he certainly didn't have a choice whether he could stay in the camp, but how he dealt with it. We always have that choice, how we're going to deal with it.
Exactly.
Wow. So what are they going to find in your book? I mean, what do you have to tell people about this? It's a fascinating subject.
Yes. And then but there is
Must be a really fat book. No.
And then, so there is the first part is about definition. The second part is about the definition of awareness. What is awareness? And how to become more aware. And then there are exercises, how to become more aware of ourselves, so that we can make
exercises.
Yes.
Wow, nice.
And finally, there is a part about the diminished choice when you have less choice, and a part where we describe when you don't have the choice.
Right.
And so, for example, your choice, it has been studied that our brain is differently, how can I say, structured in front of addictions. So we have people who are more inclined to addictions.
More prone to, addiction.
So in this case, you don't have the choice, but we always have a percentage of willingness of our own desire, and we can play with it. But it's diminished because we have some genes and some structure which is more...
Some things you just, you can't do something about, but how, because I know alcoholism, they say, that is an inherited disease, and you're more prone to become an alcoholic if indeed your parents were. But if you choose not to drink, then you don't have to worry about being an alcoholic.
Yeah, and and there is all of debate in U.S. More than in fact, I've read about this debate in U.S. is an inherited thing, and then you cannot do anything about it, or is something where your desire can play. And for me, I mean, that's why we choose to write a book on choice. Is of course there is an inherited, yes, but you always have a percentage where you can
diminish,
choose.
but you still have that.
Yes.
You still have that choice. Well, interestingly, because you're international, is this universal? Is this true in Italy and all over Europe, or what are the differences?
But actually, the difference, the question of choice is universal.
Okay.
But our approach to choice is different.
Oh, really?
Culturally, yes. Because, for example, in US, what I've noticed, I'm very humble when I say so. So I watch a culture, and then I don't want to say the truth about Americans. It's not my intention.
Some Americans.
Some Americans.
All Americans.
Yes, some Americans. They choose to act. The choice is in action. As you were saying at the beginning of this conversation, you're a doer.
Yeah.
And for example, in France, they love complaining. They are the best complainer in the world.
Really?
But they say of themselves,
yes.
So I can...
They've already admitted it.
They admitted. So this is a first step of awareness. Huh?
Yes.
And in Italy, sometimes they like to feel miserable. Sometimes they say, okay, I have to follow the family, I have to follow the faith, I have to follow. So sometimes they like to feel miserable. So there are cultural differences, but of course these are generalization. I mean, so
right.
Be careful about that. What I want to say is that the theme of choice and the fact that it is a very, very important and primary subject, this is universal. This is why we wrote the book, because we really believe that is a door of which opens many possibilities of feeling more responsible, possibility of seeing more possibilities for us in life, possibilities to change ourselves. So it's for me, I could write 10 books.
Maybe this is just the beginning. When is your book coming out?
Hopefully in 2015 at the beginning.
Okay.
In France at the beginning, because we wrote it in French, even if I'm not French, because it was the most common language between me and Mariva.
You and your partner, yes.
Yes.
You can both speak it. That's good. Yeah.
Yes, but even she speaks English and German, but I don't speak German. I speak anyway. So
French one. Okay.
yeah, French was the most, the easiest language, and then
Yeah.
hopefully it will be published here and in Italy.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. So once the edition in French is done, then we translate it into Italian and English.
And will it be an ebook or a hardcover book?
Both.
Or? Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
Okay.
I really want an ebook as well.
Yeah, well, it's not out there yet, but let me encourage you to check her website, which is www.share-coach.com, and I bet she's going to have some stuff up there as soon as it does come out. So we've got 2 minutes left, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. You made it. Yeah.
Yes, I read it. I was so terrified about, oh my God, it's going to be long and I don't know what to say.
That's just when you're having fun, yes. Time flies. So if you had to give some advice or a quick exercise to people listening, what would you say about choice? You could reread this definition, which is beautiful, and I was willing to fight you on a part of it, but I think I buy it. I think I buy into it.
One thing that I like to do in the evening is just to take 2 minutes. I'm not a very meditative person, but I take 2 minutes every evening, and I think about what were my real choices of the day, and what were the false choices of the day.
I love that.
And so I can have
I like that
an
a lot.
assessment of my day. Did I decide my day? Which percentage? And what can I change for tomorrow? So this is what I do every evening.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you're saying take 2 minutes at the end of each day and see, one, did you make good choices? At some point, did you make a choice, or did you go along with the game? Because I'll look at the clock and go, really? The day is over? What happened? And it's like I did just answer phones and respond to emails. So decide, one, what choices did you make? Did you actually make as an awareness choice?
Exactly.
And then, were they the best choice? What could have made them better?
Yeah.
What didn't go right with that? Oh, I like that a lot.
So, and this is a small exercise, which is very short, but
Yeah.
extremely useful to increase awareness
I like that.
of us and to change things as well. Because
Wow.
awareness is the possibility to change.
I cannot wait for your book to come out. How exciting. That's
Hopefully, very soon.
Yes, in English. I have to thank Annette. How do you say her last name? Rosenvig?
How do you say, sorry?
Annette's last name, Rosenvig. I have to thank her for getting
yes,
us together. Yes. So I hope she's watching in Denmark. And thank you for being such a fantastic guest. You've literally opened my eyes. So thank you so much, Anna Gallotti.
And thank you for having given me the possibility to be here.